Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh. I do so by Shema Mashiach, Malak Yahushai. It's your brother Ratazach back at it again with another video. And this time I'm going to be talking about lying, right? So, y'all know the law, right? So I'm going to start off with it. It's Exodus 20 and verse 15 and 16. It says, "Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor." So, what I'm really, it's not just lying I'm going to be talking about. It's also stealing. Along with this comes cheating, right? Or usury, right? So this lesson is going to be talking about lying, cheating, and stealing, right? Sound like the Eddie Guerrero motto, right? The late Eddie Guerrero, the so-called Mexican wrestler, you know what I mean? Anyway, that was his thing. That was his motto. He lied, he cheated, and he stole his way to victory, right? He would always do some funny things that, you know, in the ring, very entertaining. You know, those who know what I'm talking about. But this ain't that. This is the laws of God, right? But that's also showing you too, right? How, you know, those who know the wrestling world, Vince McMahon, right? Vincent Kennedy McMahon, right? The owner of the company of WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment. You know, they make these characters. So Eddie Guerrero, right? That's his real name, but of course he played a character. All these wrestlers that you see on TV, on these wrestling shows, on podcasts, and you know, all that, such and such, they're all playing characters, right? At the end of the day, they're all friends behind, you know, after they get off, you know, after the show and all of that. They're all just playing actors, like from The Undertaker to Kane, Triple H, all of that. They're all playing actors, right? You could say it's a lie, right? Which it really is, because, you know, that's not the life that they're really living, right? So this message is to not lie, don't cheat, and don't steal. But to who, right? This is Leviticus 19 and 11. "Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another." Now, when we read Leviticus chapter 19, starting at the verse, it says, "These are the words which God spoke unto all Israel." Right? So, and he told Israel we have to be holy unto him. So these are laws that were only given to the Israelites, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, right? Of Negro to Indian descent, that is. Right? So we can't lie, we can't cheat, and we can't steal, right? When you read in the GNT, it literally says what I just said, right? But backward, it says, "Do not steal or cheat or lie," right? Proverbs 4 and 24, CEV. "Never tell lies or be deceitful in what you say." So they're all throughout the Bible. We're going to see, right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, the precepts that go along with lying, cheating, and stealing, right? That we're not allowed to do this one to another. We can't lie, we can't cheat, and we can't steal from our own people, right? We're not supposed to. When you read Leviticus chapter 11, that whole thing is about the Israelites. So, and when you go to Psalm 147 and verse 19 and 20, the laws were only given to the children of Israel. So no one else has these set of laws, and we are to praise God because we're the ones who are chosen to be given these laws. These laws are not. It's not just to. It's not. Salakia. Let me put it like this. These laws. It's not just laws, statutes, and commandments, which of course, that's what they are, but it's also our heritage, right? Without the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, we have no heritage. And this is how we're supposed to conduct ourselves. This is how we're supposed to run ourselves. This is literally the whole duty of why we were created. This is the whole duty of man, woman, and child on the face of the earth, that is. It ain't even just the Israelites too. The heathens, they're going to be forced to follow our laws in the kingdom of heaven, right? But this is for you, Israel. Y'all gotta stop. This major thing in Israel is that we are huge liars, huge backstabbers, right? Big cheaters, big, you know what I'm saying, liars, right? When we love to steal from one another, right? Side note, right? In the hood, you know, I ain't got it like you ain't got it. So why you want to rob me, right? It's crazy how there's a lot of small hats that be in the hood and nobody wants to stick them up, but you see your people that look just like you and you want to stick them up. You got to really think right? We got to think rational, because this is stupid, and these are things that are an abomination unto God. God really hates this, right? Proverbs 6 and verse 16 through 19. It says, these 6 things does the Lord hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, right? Stop being proudful, right? All that pride, right? People like to be proudful, right? You just because, you know what I'm saying, you got all that money, you probably stole it. You probably cheated your way to that money, and you lied to get to that money, right? And now we see this all throughout the Bible too. How people like to bribe to get money and commit usury on their own people, charge interest and all of that. That's what usury means, by the way. And I'm going to get into that too, right? So it says a proud look, a lying tongue. So these are the things that God hates, right? It says in hands that shed innocent blood. That's all you so-called Black and Hispanic Native Americans. Y'all love to shed innocent blood. Y'all love to kill each other, right? In heart that deviseth wicked imaginations. And it says feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. All these we find in the chapter of Leviticus 19. Literally, this is all the things that we find, and we are to abstain from. We are to, walk in the light of the Most High God, instead of walking in this, in the wicked imaginations of our deceitful minds. And we need to, saying, why? Because the scripture said that the heart is deceitful, which is talking about your mind, right? Desperately wicked. And we have to stop following our wicked imaginations and put on the whole armor of God, which is following the laws of God, the Torah, right? Because that's the main point of why we even bring the Bible out, is because we're supposed to teach our people the laws of God. Without the laws of God, then we're going to live lawless. Listen, it's going to be nothing but chaos in the earth. You think it's chaos? I mean, it's already chaotic now. Imagine if nobody was following God's laws, right? Imagine that. I'll be damned. It'd be damn hardcore slavery all over again. I wouldn't want to imagine. I wouldn't want to experience that again, right? And it's crazy how people be saying that Esau is the Arabs. You really want to experience a whole nother slavery. That's a side note, though. Anyway, right? Sirach 20 and verse 18. I'm gonna read to verse 26. It says, to slip upon a pavement is better than to slip with the tongue. Hey, look, you might as well slip on a pavement than to be using your tongue to tell lies to your people, right? And that's what you Christian pastors love to do too. That's why the scriptures say in Jeremiah 23 and 1, woe to the pastors that be lying and scattering our people, man, right? Woe to you, which means death and destruction unto you. The Most High God proclaims death and destruction to you wicked pastors out there, man. To people that tell lies to our people, and all you're doing is just scattering us more. Instead of gathering the flock and feeding the sheep, you're just scattering the sheep, right? It says, so the fall of the wicked shall come speedily, right? Hey, you keep telling lies, man. Listen, man, destruction is going to come up to you speedily, right? It says, an unseasonable tale will always be in the mouth of the unwise, right? A wise sentence shall be rejected when it cometh out of a fool's mouth, for he will not speak it in due season. And we're supposed to do things in season, out of season. But it says right here that they reject it, right? And they don't even know how to speak when it's time for them to speak, right? It says, and why? Because they're nothing but liars, man. Right? These people they don't have the truth. They're unwise. They want to follow the wicked imaginations of their own thoughts, right? It says, there is that is hindered from sinning through want, and when he taketh rest, he shall not be troubled. There is that destroyeth his own soul through bashfulness, and by accepting of persons overthroweth himself. And look, we're not supposed to be a respecter of persons. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of people out here, they like to be respecter of persons. The Most High God, he ain't a respecter of persons, so why should we be a respecter of persons? Right? And these people, liars, cheaters, and people that steal, right? And if you do all three, goddamn, right? You're overthrowing yourself, which means what? You're going to hurt yourself, and worse, you're going to kill yourself. Because all of these things, they lead to death, right? A lying tongue. Hey, they say the tongue is mightier than the sword. And what's the most powerful weapon according to the Bible? It literally is the tongue. right? It says, there is that bashfulness promiseth to his friend, and maketh him his enemy for nothing, right? You bashing your own people, committing usury on them, charging them interest and all of that. You making them enemies now, right? I remember being that in the world when I used to, you know what I'm saying, sell, grass. And man, the enemy, I made a few enemies because, was trying to charge interest, and that's a sin. We're not supposed to be doing that. And even what I was doing was, I was doing something. I was just being wrong anyway. Making everybody, smoke weed, smoke ganja, and all of that. It was just ridiculous, right? We're not even supposed to be doing that, right? All praise the Most High. Let's get back on track. Verse 24. A lie is a foul blot in a man, yet it is continually in the mouth of the untaught. A thief is better than a man that is accustomed to lie, but they both shall have destruction to heritage. And I literally brought this up before I read this. Right? Let me read that one more time. A thief is better than a man that is accustomed to lie. So if you're a thief, hey, listen, it's saying that a thief is better than a man who's just accustomed to being a liar. But guess what? Y'all both have the same destruction. Y'all both have that. Your heritage is death. Why? Because literally when we read Leviticus 19 and 11, it literally says it. Don't steal, don't cheat, don't lie. So guess what? They're all in the same. It's funny because sometimes we read things like this, and this is like Solomon, this is Sirach showing the wisdom that he had, and it's a little bit poetic too, right? It's like when you read Proverbs and when you read Ecclesiastes, right? So a thief is better than a man that is accustomed to lie, but it says but they both shall have destruction to heritage. You're gonna have the same destruction, right? Essentially, right? It says, the disposition of a liar is dishonorable, and his shame is ever with him. Remember that story, the boy who cried wolf, right? Y'all know that story, the boy who cried wolf, right? He cried wolf once, people came, there no wolf. Did it again, people came, no wolf, right? Did it again. This time there was a wolf, nobody came. Hey, stop being a damn liar. Now you're being dishonorable, and I guess what that kid got for crying out, there's a wolf, there's a wolf. Now there's actually a wolf, and guess what? Nobody want to hear you because they're tired of your lies. And I have experienced like that. I'm not even going to hold you. I've experienced this in my life too, where I've told a lie, kept saying it, and then when it actually happened, it's like, oh shoot, now nobody believes me. And it's crazy because even being in this truth, people don't really believe me. Because I was known to be a damn liar, man. I was, listen, I was everything under the sun, man. You know what I'm saying? It was just crazy, man. A lot. Hey, listen, I speak for all of. Well, if I could speak for all of us, a lot of us were brought up in very, very sinful lives, man. We've done a lot of crazy things in our lives that we're not proud of. But, all praise to the Most High. The Most High took us out of that predicament. The Most High took us out of that wicked lifestyle, and now we're following His laws, statutes, and commandments, living in that light, right? All praise the Most High. Deuteronomy 19 and 16. It says, if a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him that is wrong, so like that which is wrong, then both the man between whom the controversy is shall stand before the Lord, before the priests and the judges, which shall be in those days. And the judge, and the judges, that's another cut that we can't judge. There's so many, the Most High set up judges, right? And it's in the law. It says, shall make diligent inquisition, and behold, if the witness be a false witness, and hath testified falsely against his brother, which that's a major law. We're not supposed to do that. It's in the 10 Commandments, right? Then shall ye do unto him as he hath thought to have done unto his brother. So shalt thou put away evil from among put away evil from among you, right? So we see right here, man, we're not supposed to be dealing falsely. Again, it's just reiterating because Deuteronomy means what? The second law, which means they're just saying it again, right? And you're going to get judged for the things that you do, right? Because listen, ultimately the Most High is the judge. When you read Ecclesiastes 12 and 14, he's going to bring all things into judgment. Every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. And right here, this is very, very evil. You're saying, right, you're dealing falsely against your own people, your own blood, right? You're going to listen, the Most High can cut you off like this, right? So, at the end of it says, put the evil away from among you. We're supposed to be putting the evil away from amongst us. We're supposed to separate from all wickedness, all evilness, right? Wisdom of Solomon Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 7 in the GNT. It says, since the Lord's Spirit fills the earth. Let me read to verse 11. Since the Lord's Spirit fills the entire world and holds everything in it together, she knows every word that people say. No one who speaks wickedly will escape notice. Sooner or later, he will receive just punishment. Right? Now, might get confused when it says she knows every word. The Spirit, right? The Lord's Spirit that fills the entire earth is talking about the wisdom, and the wisdom is treated. Remember, I've talked about this before. Wisdom is treated as a female spirit, right? Why? Because it brings comfort, right? And you know, as a man, a woman brings comfort to a man, right? Whether it be a wife, whether, you know, 'cause our first woman that we encounter is our mother. And then we find a wife and it kind of resembles our mother. Why? Why do men get women that kind of resemble their mother? The catering, the love, right? The, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, just the warm feeling that we get, just that love that we get, you know, from our mothers. Now we have a wife or wives, right, that bring us that comfort, that are that pillar of rest to us, right? Because the scriptures say we're supposed to, you know, cleave unto our wife. We're supposed to leave our father and mother and cleave unto our wife, right? And that's what this wisdom is. So that's what the Lord's wisdom does. It fills up this earth, right? But it's only going into what? Souls that are not malicious, right? God-fearing people. And eventually, guess what? This whole earth is going to be filled with the wisdom of the Most High in the kingdom of heaven, right? But the Lord knows everything already. The Lord, that's why it says that she knows every word that people say, because the Spirit of the Lord is already all over the earth. It's just a matter of time when we get to this kingdom, right? Our heaven, where the entire earth is literally in peace. For once and for all, it's going to be in peace, and the Spirit of the Lord is going to be all over the place, man. Everywhere. It's going to be so perfect in the kingdom of heaven. I cannot wait for that. No more lying, no more cheating, no more stealing. Right? Verse 8. It says, no one who speaks wickedly will escape notice. Sooner or later he will receive just punishment. Even though I just read it, I wanted to read it again. Right? He's going to receive that just punishment because why? God is a just God. And you're going to get the judge. You're going to get what you deserve. Right? All praises, right? It says, the intentions of ungodly people will be closely examined. Their words will be reported to the Lord. See, that's why there's always the angels. They're the ones that they be reporting. They write things down and they send it up to the Lord, right? That's what it's called. An angel is a messenger of God. And that's what they do. They take notes, right? That's why I said in Ecclesiastes 12 and 14, God's going to take all things into judgment, good or evil, and whether it be, remember, whether you do things in secret or in public, the Most High got everything noted about you, because His angels are always watching, right? They lurking, right? Put it like that, right? The intentions of ungodly people will be closely examined. Their words will be reported to the Lord, and then they will get the punishment that their wickedness deserves. That's right. It says God will tolerate no challenge. That's why we're not supposed to tempt the Lord our God. Right? And it says, and since He hears everything, you cannot hide your complaining from Him. Now remember that when the Lord heard our people murmuring, right, in the wilderness. He said, man, these people are wicked as hell, right? You can't challenge the Lord. He hears everything, right? You got to stop complaining. Stop being a damn liar. Seriously, right? It says, so be sure that you do not go around complaining. It does no good. And don't engage in bitter talk. The most secret things you say will have their consequences, and lying will destroy your soul. A lot of us be lying. We got to really do some serious repentance and stop lying. Control the tongue, right? And control your mind, really, man. When you control your mind, when you wash this brain up, the tongue, because what defiles a man? The thoughts, his inner being, the thoughts in your mind. You think wickedly, and that's what you're supposed to clean up first. Your inner being first, then your outward appearance after. Right? That's the most important thing, is your soul, because that's what the Most High got to like it. This is what we're supposed to be doing, is saving. We're supposed to save ourselves first. Save your soul, man. And the ultimate savior, of course, Yahweh Shai, when he comes and actually delivers you from this captivity. When he saves us, literally saves us. But we need to make sure that we have to save our soul right now. Right? We used to hear this in the Christian church all the time. But they never tell you how to do it. Right? The scriptures they literally tell you how to do it. Listen, it's very simple. I don't get what I read that was so crazy, because I'm reading literally thus saith the Lord, and is it really that hard to follow this? People really complain about this. A lot of you Hebrew Israelites, man, y'all be complaining. Man, I heard just today. I talked to an Israelite, so he was smoking a cigarette. He said, man, I know, man, this is sin, bro, but I'm only human. And I said, brother, come on, man. No. Not only are you know what I'm saying, you lying to yourself, really. You're lying to God, and you're lying to yourself, saying, oh, I'm only human, I can't really stop. Well, I thought we could do all things through Christ. I thought with Yahweh everything was possible. What happened? You know what I mean? It's sad, man. In these last days, the Most High, listen, man. The Most High ain't looking for no weak niggas, man. He wants strong men. Strong, so-called black and Hispanic men, women, and child. He wants us to be strong in his truth, man. Right? Be on your P's and Q's in this truth, because the Lord gonna really be testing us, man. Leviticus chapter 6, instead of verse 1. It says, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, if a soul sin and commit a trespass against the Lord, and lie unto his neighbor in that which was delivered him to keep, or in fellowship, or in a thing taken away by violence, or has deceived his neighbor, or have found that which was lost, and lieth concerning it, and sweareth falsely, in any of all these that a man doeth, sinneth therein. So no matter what, all these things, it's a sin. It says, then it shall be, because he hath sinned and is guilty, that he shall restore that which he took violently away. That's what you're supposed to do. If you steal, the Most High has a chance for you to just, hey, listen, you stole it, you could restore it back. Right? And then I'm gonna get into this is gonna get into something else too. Right? It says, then it shall be, because he has sinned and is guilty, that he should restore that which he took violently away, or the thing which he had deceitfully gotten, or that which was delivered him to keep, or the lost thing which he found, or all that about which he hath sworn falsely, he shall even restore it in the principal, and shall add the fifth part more thereto, and give it to him to whom it appertaineth in the day of his trespass offering. You see that? So you got to restore it, and you got to add the fifth part more there too, right? So this is what happens. These are the requirements of the law, right? When you sin, when you're trespass against someone, right? When When you take away somebody, when you take away something, when you steal from somebody violently, you know what I mean? When you deceive your neighbor, when you come against your people, you deceive them with your lying tongue. Look, the Most High has a law for you to, hey, listen, you did that. You have a chance to do this. You got to repent. You got to do this, 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 and the third. He literally gives us instructions. Does that mean you can go out and freely do it? No. Because now that you freely do it, guess what? When you read, what's that? 1 second. Pull this precept out real quick. Sometimes I got to hold my book in my hand so I could actually see the verse. You know what I mean? This is Hebrews 10 and verse 26. If we sin willfully after that which we have read it again. Hebrews 10 and verse 26. For if we sin willfully after that we have received the knowledge of the truth. Remember, the truth is what? The laws of the Most High. So after you understand this truth, you understand the laws of this, it says, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sin. So if you willfully break the law, you know the law. This is for those who don't know the law. You didn't know the law? Okay, cool. Boom. This is what you do. But when you know the law, you don't go and freely sin. The Most High never gave anyone a license to sin. Through sinning, there's no wisdom in sin. And God is all wisdom. So if you want to have the wisdom of God and represent God on this earth and be a God as you're called, a God on this earth, you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American men, then you got to stop lying and you got to put away the cheating, put away the stealing, put away all the evil out of your house. Clean yourself up. Fast, pray, confess your sin. Confess your sins to the Lord, right? Because we cannot willfully sin. When we willfully do this, what does that mean? When you willfully sin, it's like you're putting Christ back on the cross. It's like, put it like this. You willfully sinning, Christ died for no reason. Because Christ died for our sins so that we can stop sinning. But if we keep continuing this life of sin, then what was the point of Christ dying? I'm going to give you an example. Your big homie, let's say you and your big homie, you do something crazy. Yeah, you gotta do time in jail, but your big homie he got your back and he gonna do the time for you. All right, cool. Now you go do some BS again. Now you in the jail cell with your big homie. Why? Your big homie gonna look at you and be like, bro, why? I'm doing the time that you should be doing, but you go doing BS. You go do some BS and you messed up. Now you in this with me now too. What was the point of big homie doing time for you? Now he in there doing time for no reason. Because you done put yourself in another bad predicament. Now you end up in jail. But he's like, but I came to do it for you. You see what do you see what I'm saying? Right? So here again, man. No more lying, no more cheating, no more stealing. No more committing usury. What is usury, right? Remember I did say I was gonna go over this. Exodus 22 verse 25. If thou lend money to any of my people, see again, Israelites, that is poor by thee, thou shalt not be to him as an usurer, neither shalt thou lay upon him usury. Read in the GNT. It says, if you lend money to any of my people who are poor, do not act like a money lender and require him to pay interest. And that's very important because a lot of us, we like to charge interest to our people. Right? Read Deuteronomy 23 and verse 19 and 20 in the GNT. When you lend money or food or anything else to Israelites, that's why I love the GNT too sometimes, right? It says, do not charge them with interest, usury, right? You may charge interest, usury, on what you lend to foreigners. So why do you think the small hats, they have all the money in the world? Because why? They lend to foreigners. Even though they're the foreigners, really. They're not the real Jews. They're not the real Israelites. We are. So we can't do it to each other, but guess what that means? We can do it to the heathen. You can do it to the heathen. Stop doing it to your own people. You can't do it to the damn devil. Right? Not just the devil, all the other nations. Right? All the heathens. It says, but not on what you'd lend to Israelites. You can't charge Israelites. You can't do interest on them. You can't make them do usury. Look, I give you 20, you're supposed to give me 20 back. Simple. I'm not supposed to give you 20 and then, as time goes, it's gonna double. No. The small hats do that. Right? And we're supposed to be doing it to them. That's how this Bible, the cheat code to life. Right? Leviticus 25 and verse 35 and 30 through 37, the G&T. If any Israelites living near you become poor and cannot support themselves, you must provide for them as you would for a hired worker, so that they can continue to live near you. Do not charge Israelites any interest, but obey God and let them live near you. Do not make them pay interest on the money you lend them. Do not make a profit on the food you sell them. Hey, listen, we can't do that to our own people. But what is the main issue that our people do? Lie, cheat, steal. And a part of the lie, cheating, and stealing, the cheating and the stealing part is usury. You're doing interest on them. You're trying to make a profit on your own people. Why you trying to, dope and crack and all the other stuff? You're doing it to your own people, which is, of course, witchcraft as well. Right? And what does the Bible say about a witch? Thou shalt not suffer the witch to live. It's a sin unto death. So what's this mean? Sin unto death. Lying is like witchcraft, man. That's crazy. Now I'm gonna show you guys, right? Now that we understand that the lying, no cheating, no steal, we cannot do interest on our own people. Now I'm gonna show you guys an account of restoring back your own people and repenting from usury. Right? This is Nehemiah 5. I'm gonna start at verse 1. And I'm gonna read to verse 12. It says, and there was a great cry of the people and of their wives against their brethren, the Jews. For there were that said, we, our sons and our daughters, are many. Therefore we take up corn for them, that we may eat and live. Some also there were butchering you, Salakia. Excuse me, Israel. Some also there were that said, we have mortgaged our lands, vineyards, and houses, that we may buy corn, because of the dearth. There were also that said, we have borrowed money from the king for the king's tribute, and that upon our lands and vineyards. Yet now our flesh is as the flesh of our brethren, our children as their children. And lo, we bring into bondage our sons and our daughters to be servants, and some of our daughters are brought into bondage already. Neither is it in our power to redeem them, for other men have our lands and vineyards. Right? And I was very angry when I heard their cry in these words. Then I consulted with myself, and I rebuked the nobles and the rulers, and said unto them, ye exact usury every one of his brother. And I set a great assembly against them. And I said unto them, see that? So Nehemiah, he's standing up and he's saying, why y'all doing it to your own people? What's going on here? Right? It says, and I said unto them, we after our ability have redeemed our brethren the Jews. So see that? You could buy back your own people, like it says in Leviticus 25 and 45. 26. Leviticus 26. Hold on, Salaki. Let me go to that real quick. I was right. Leviticus 25 verses 47 to 49. Right? That's the law on you can redeem you could redeem your fellow Israelite back, right? To buy back, right? Make sure I can get that real quick. Leviticus 25. Leviticus 25 and verse let me read verse 44. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, no, that's not what I want. Verse 47. And if a sojourner or a stranger wax rich by thee, and thy brother that dwelleth by him wax poor, and sell himself unto the stranger or sojourner by thee, or to the stock of the stranger's family, after that he is sold, he may be redeemed again. So see, you can buy back your people again, right? One of his brethren may redeem him. That's called, when you pay a bond, right? It says either his uncle or his uncle's son may redeem him, or any that is nigh of kin unto him of his family may redeem him, or if he be able, he may redeem himself. You got some people that can do that today too, right? They got all that money saved up. They can redeem themselves. So see right here, this is an account that this is an account of restoring back the Israelites and repenting from usury, right? Where was I at? Verse 8. I'm going to read it again. It says, and I said unto them, we after our ability have redeemed our brethren the Jews, which were sold unto the heathen, and will ye even sell your brethren, or shall they be sold unto us? Then held their peace and found nothing to answer. So he got them. He just confounded them, right? And he says, and also I said, it is not good that ye do. Ought ye not to walk in the fear of the Lord because of the reproach of the heathen of our enemies, right? I likewise and my brethren and my servants might exact of them money and corn. I pray you, let us leave off this usury. See, he's telling them to repent from it. It says, restore, I pray you, to them even this day, their lands, their vineyards, their olive yards, their houses, also the 100th part of the money, and of the corn and the wine and the oil that you exact of them. Then said they, we will restore them. So they repenting, right? And it's right here, the angels were having a great time in heaven. It says, and will require nothing of them. So they see no more interest. So will we do as thou sayest. Then I called the priests and took an oath of them that they should do according to this promise. So they made a promise. See, this is what we're supposed to do as a nation, and this is going to happen all over again. I can't wait to see this. This account is going to happen again, right? All praises, because remember, what goes around comes around, and history repeats itself, right? That's what I meant to say. History repeats itself. Of course, yeah, what goes around comes around too. Of course, all praise the Most High. But history is going to repeat itself, and we're going to see this happen again. It's going to play it all over again, right? So we got to stop committing usury on our own people. This is Psalms 15 and verse 5. He that putteth not out his money to usury, nor taketh reward against the innocent, he that doeth these things shall never be moved. I mean, the Most High, He's not going to deal with you, man, right? You're not supposed to be doing usury on your people. You're not supposed to be taking reward against the innocent. You're not supposed to be stealing or prospering and being damn proud of off of innocent people, right? Proverbs 28 and verse 8. He that by usury and unjust gain increaseth his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor, right? He that by usury and unjust gain increaseth his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor, right? Let me read this in the GNT. Watch this. If you get rich by charging interest and taking advantage of people, your wealth will go to someone who is kind to the poor. All that money that you made, guess what? The Most I could take it just like this and give it to somebody else. It's that scary. I know. I know you saw your life flash before you, right? This is Ezekiel 22 verse 12 in the GNT. Some of your people murdered to pay. That's a fact. Assassins. You do have them. Still have them, right? A lot of you niggas in these whack ass gangs, y'all still be doing that too, right? Some of your people murder to pay, right? Some charge interest on the loans they make to other Israelites and get rich by taking advantage of them. They have forgotten me. The sovereign Lord Yahweh has spoken. This is the Lord saying this, man. Right? The Lord has spoken. We are to change our ways. We are to repent, come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Right? On the contrary, though, right? Now here's the good part. What I was gonna bring up before. We can lie and cheat and steal from heathens. Watch this. Acts 26 verse 27 through 29. King Agrippa. This is Paul talking to Agrippa. Maybe he was in the court. King Agrippa, believest thou the prophets? And he's speaking in sarcasm. I know that thou believest Then Agrippa said unto Paul, almost thou persuadest me to be a Christian. He said, yeah, you almost got me to be a follower of Christ, right? And Paul said, I would to God that not only thou, but also all that hear me this day, we both almost, and altogether such as I am, except these bonds. He's just telling him, look, can you just let me go? Because he was, you know what I'm saying? He's like this in the courthouse, like, hey, listen, we can do this together. Just let me go. You know what I'm saying? Right? Remind you of somebody? Right? Here's another account. Judges 16 and verse 6. And Delilah said to Samson, tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth, and wherewith thou mightest be bound to afflict thee. Right? And Samson said unto her, if they bind me with the 7 green withs that were never dried, then shall I be weak and be as another man. Now watch this. He's lying to her straight up. Watch this. He says, then the lords of the Philistines brought up to her 7 green withs, which had not been dried, and she bound him with them. Now they were men lying in wait, abiding with her in the chamber, and she said unto him, right, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And watch this, right? Watch this. It says, and he broke, and it's like, and he break the withs as a thread of tow is broken when it touches the fire, so his strength was not known. And Delilah said unto Samson, beholdest thou mocked me and told me lies. He lied to her, right? It says, now tell me, I pray thee, wherewith thou mightest be bound, right? And so when you just keep reading, like, I'm gonna just skip down. Just skip down to verse 15. It says, and she said unto him, how canst thou say I love thee with thine heart, when thine heart is not with me? Thou hast mocked me with these 3 times. He lied there 3 times in a row, right? And has not told me wherein thy great strength lieth, right? So Delilah was a Philistine and Samson was an Israelite. And he lied to her not once, not twice, but 3 times. 3 times. Did God say he sinned? Nope. Not at all. Not at all. Right? All praise the Most High. Here's another account. Read this one. Genesis chapter 20 and verse 1. Watch this. Genesis chapter 20 verse 1. And Abraham journeyed from thence toward the south country and dwelt between Kadesh and Shur and sojourned in Gerar. And Abraham said of Sarah his wife, she is my sister. And Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah. Right? Now watch this. Let's skip to verse 5. It says, said he not unto me, she is my sister? And she, even she herself, said, he is my brother? So they both lied, right? In the integrity of the heart and innocent of my hands have I done this. And God said unto him in a dream, yeah, I know that thou did this in the integrity of thy heart, for I also withheld thee from sinning against me, therefore suffered I thee not to touch her. So he never even had sex with her, right? Now watch this. Where is it at? It says, and I'm going to just keep reading. It says, now therefore restore the man his wife, for he is a prophet, and he shall pray for thee, and thou shalt live. If thou restore her not, know thou that thou shalt surely die, thou and all that are thine. Therefore Abimelech rose early in the morning and called all his servants and told all these things in their ears, and the men were so afraid. Then Abimelech called Abraham and said unto him, what hast thou done unto us? And what have I offended thee, that thou hast brought on me and my kingdom a great sin? Thou hast done deeds unto me that ought not to be done. And Abimelech said unto Abraham, what sawest thou that thou hast done this? And Abraham said, because I thought, surely the fear of the Lord is not in this place, and they will slay me for my wife's sake. And yet, indeed, she is my sister. She is the daughter of my father, but not the daughter of my mother. And she became my wife. So see, he just lied to him. He just lied to him. It's called righteous deception. You can use righteous deception to lie to the heathens, right? All praise the Most High. So stop lying, stop stealing, stop cheating to your people, right? We got to be loyal to one another. We got to love one another. Come back together, right? It's time to gather ourselves together, and it's time to wake up, you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans of Negro to Indian descent. Y'all are the chosen people of God. Y'all are the Jews and the Israelites the Bible speaks of, and it's high time for you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans to wake the hell up out of sleep. With that, I give all praise and honor and glory to the Most High God Yahweh, and I do so by Shem Yahweh Shai, right? Kum Yashala, stop being a goddamn liar. Stop being a goddamn cheater. Stop being a goddamn thief. If you really want to do it, just lie to the heathens. So that's all I gotta say. Hey, listen, be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Use wisdom. Shalom.